When November rolls around for the presidential elections and we finally choose the so-called President of the United States, we have no choice but to vote for a millionaire. Let's look at the facts. John McCain's net worth is around $30 million. Hillary Clinton's worth supposedly is around $10 million, but combined with her husband, it reaches $50 million. Barack Obama is a millionaire now, but in the lower range. He got almost a $2 million deal for advance for writing a book. So he's on his way to becoming part of the millionaire club. The simple fact of life is that to run for high political office in America, you either need to be wealthy or well connected to wealthy people, which means we'll always be electing people who have a lot of money. Even getting to the place of where you would be a candidate seriously considered for President of the United States, you have to spend millions of dollars. So far, Clinton, Obama, and McCain have spent, so far, $300 million on advertising and expenses to become President of the United States. The idea that the average Joe in this country with no money, pulling himself up by bootstraps or herself up by her bootstrap, to be President of the United States is an illusion. If you go back and watch the old movie, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, where James Stewart plays a fellow named Jefferson Smith, appropriately named after Thomas Jefferson, who works his way up and from nowhere and fights the corruption in D.C. and wins. Again, those things are an illusion. It just doesn't happen anymore. What's happened is that corporate America, corporations, lobbyists, people with a lot of money, the very, very wealthy, have taken over the government. A look at Congress is a great example. It is the multi-millionaires club. And at the top is people like John Kerry, who has a net worth of around $600 million. Just think about that for a second. There are the $300 million congressmen and senators. Going down the list, there's quite a few. It's just the tip of the iceberg. The amazing thing about all this, though, is that a $600 million person in Congress who has that much money gets all these perks from the government. They get hairdos, office expenses, staffs. You can just go to a government website and you can see all the benefits. It's staggering. They get 32 trips home a year. 32 trips. That's taxpayer paid trips where they fly home to do what? I mean, anything today you can do by fax or on a computer. So what's happened is the government's just basically out of control, and those in power have absolutely nothing to do with the average citizen. A good example is the recent press conference where President Bush was astounded that gas prices may be up around $4 a gallon. He was shocked. He's visibly shocked if you see him on camera. He's out of touch. The wealthy cannot represent us, and they cannot represent the people that struggle from day to earn a living. Is there an answer to all this? It's a very difficult question. What do we do? The founding fathers are really clear when they wrote the preamble of the Constitution that the average person should be running the government. That's why the Constitution starts with those three beautiful words, we the people. And over a period of years, we've just abrogated our duties. But I would say this, I think it is the common man, the common person, they're the best people to run our government. And people like Abraham Lincoln understood it. And just let me end this with a quote from Abraham Lincoln, who I think was our last great president and a man who actually did rise up by his own bootstraps, a humble person who became president of the United States. Wise men established these great self-evident truths that when in the distant future some man, some faction, some interest should set up the doctrine that none but the rich or none but white men were entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, their posterity should look again at the Declaration of Independence and take courage to renew the battle which their fathers began. Wise advice from a great man.